Today I'm going to show you 10 items that our family actually use when we go camping, and all of these items are going to be under $100. They can be found on Amazon, so I'll put links below. None of these items are sponsored. They are all items that we have personally purchased ourselves and we use on our camping trips. So I know that these are items that are useful to us, and hopefully they can be useful to you. I did do a video that was between $100 and $500 and about $20 and under. So this will fit into that $20 to $100 range. Let's go look at the first item on my list of things under $100 that our family takes camping. So the first thing on my list, which I was just sitting in, are some camp chairs. And we use these Sportneer camp chairs. They're basically a cheaper version of other brands that are out there, but we've had great success with them. I've had these for 5 years now, and this is the original version that I purchased in 2020, and now they have an upgraded version that I've recently purchased, and so far I really like it. So I know how well these have worked, and so I expect the new one to work just as well, if even better. One thing that the new one has is a little bit wider base, so it doesn't tip back as much as these. But what we really like about these chairs is they fit into these nice carrying cases, and we just throw these in our trunk, and we use them for camping, but we also use them for kids' soccer games, picnics, football games. We use these for a lot, so I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of these. So they're really handy to have. These ones do have a cup holder on the newer version, which is sometimes can be useful. I don't use it too much, but it holds a lot of weight, and I'm 6'3", and I feel pretty comfortable in them. They kind of have a relaxing set to them, so you're sitting fairly low to the ground. So if you have really bad knees, I guess it might be a little tough to get in and out of, and it takes about 30 seconds to set these up. So if you're just looking for a basic camping chair, because you can never have enough chairs when you're camping, picnic tables can be hard to sit on after a while, and if you're sitting around a campfire, you have to move chairs around. These are light, these are easy to set up, and they have a lot of uses outside of camping. Now that we've looked at our chairs, let's go on to number 2 on my list. And number 2 on my list is this Coleman table. Let me show you real quick how easy this is to put together. This is something that we thought about buying, and then we finally ended up buying it in 2020, and it still is in good shape. It's aluminum, so it hasn't rusted, and we've been able to keep it from breaking, but we'll put it together. And one nice thing about having a table is that when you're camping, sometimes you only get one picnic table. So we decided after a while to just buy a portable table, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to go with. And then I found this one, and it has exceeded all my expectations. I kind of used to spend a little bit more time to put it together, but my engineering brother just was like, flip it over like this, and you can put all the pieces in. So I'll just put it in like this and show you how quick it is to have an extra table. We usually put our cooking stuff on this table, and then it's got little holes right there, and you pop it right in. But this is the table that will have our camp stove and the stuff when we're getting ready to eat. But as you can see, it's that quick to put together. Pops in, and then you flip it over, and you have a nice little table to bring with you on your camping trip. Doesn't take up much room, and just gives you a little bit more tabletop space. Like I said, it's aluminum, so it hasn't rusted. There's a few of these little pieces on the end that have come out. We've lost some of those, but that doesn't affect it at all. And this is something that we use on all of our trips. It is starting to get hot out here, so let me show you one of the USB fans that we bring with us on our trips. Yes, shade is nice, but having a USB fan is also very handy. This is something that we picked up a few years ago. In a couple of videos back, I talked about a $10 fan that's pretty small, and this one is definitely a little bit larger, and it's just a fan that runs off a standard battery bank, so you don't need to pay extra for power at a campsite. If you're just sitting at a picnic table, having a little fan is nice. We use it in our tent at night because it just moves the air around a little bit, and with one of these blocks we actually have 2 fans hooked up, this and the smaller one, and it moves enough fan around that it just feels comfortable when you're sleeping. And this little battery pack right here will run this all night long. And then if you really want to get excessive, I have a really cool larger Anchor one, but this costs about 120 bucks, so I'm not going to put that in this video. I have videos about it, but that's really cool, and that'll run these for a couple days really if you're just using them at night. But it doesn't use a lot of power. This one is a brushless motor, but it's a portable rechargeable fan. Some of them don't have batteries. I don't necessarily think you need the batteries, because if you're just going to use this anyways, the batteries lasted maybe till midnight, and then the rest of the night I had to use this anyway. So I like having a portable power bank with a portable USB fan. Because they're USB powered, you can use them in the car. You can hook it up to your laptop if you're just at work and you want a little bit of wind that's going to cool you off. These aren't too loud at all. So there's a lot of little uses for these USB powered fans. But now let's go talk about some of the stuff that we cook with. Number 4 on my list is a nice compact cooking set. This is the GSI Outdoors Glacier Stainless Camper. We really like this set. We had another set beforehand and we just upgraded to the stainless steel version, because we've kind of been changing everything to stainless steel for partly is because you don't clean stuff as fast when you get home, and it's going to stop the rusting. Also, there's no PFASs in stainless steel. So let's go through what this set has for you real quick. There is a skillet right here that has a nice heavy bottom when you're cooking, and so that's been really nice. You can tell that this thing is heavy in quality. It comes with 4 polypropylene plates, which are food safe, so they're BPA free. So that's also one of the reasons we upgraded, because we just wanted to make sure that everything is a little bit safer, because we do use our sets basically every weekend. So there's 4 plates and they're color coded, which is nice. They also come with 4 cups that are color coded, and the cups have a lid on them. So if you're drinking hot stuff or you don't want it to spill. And also it comes with 4 bowls, which are basically the same size but a little bit bigger as the cup. So you could put some soup in here and some drinks in here. There is a foam piece around the cups, which is really nice, so if it is hot. But they fit right in here, and then all of this fits into the set that we have right here. So you've got the 4 bowls and cups, and we'll take that out, and then you have a smaller 2-liter pan. It has the nice connector that you just hold it right here, and it's pretty sturdy, so it's not gonna come out. It works really well. We have been using this a little bit, and it comes with an even bigger pot. And I think it's really nice to have 2 pots, because sometimes you don't really think you might need 2 pots, but I have a 2-burner stove, and so having 2 pots is nice. I do have 2 handles because I had the other set that used the same handle, so I kept the handle. One of our favorite parts of the cook set is that it has a lid that has strainer holes on it. We cook a lot of macaroni and cheese and a lot of pastas on our trips, and when you cook your pasta and you want to just pour out the water, the strainer lid is very helpful for that. So this is probably one of our favorite parts of this cook set. And also it has a nice carrying case that can hold water. You can wash dishes in it. They say I've never really done that, but you know, if you're really out there, you need it to hold some water, and you can wash all of your dishes in it, but it works pretty well. So that's the cooking set that we use. So I do highly recommend this, because we've had really good luck using this camping set before. Like I said, we upgraded to the stainless steel version this year, and I expect it to work just as well as the other set that I have for 5 years. And it was still in good shape. We were just getting away from the PFASs. I know they use a new coating now, so the set that we had, they don't sell anymore, but we went with stainless steel. Number 5 is another stainless steel set. I'm going to show you this real quick. This is just a pot and pan set. So if you don't really want all the cups and plates and all the other stuff that comes with it, this is a great set that I got about 10 years ago now from my dad. And it's just stainless steel bowls, and there's a whole bunch of them in here. So you got 3 different sizes, and then 1 giant big one, which is a nice little stock pot that you can use for boiling water, pastas, a lot of different things when you're camping. And just like the other one, it comes with a handle. It slides in there for the skillet that it comes with. As you can see, we've used this a lot. We have used this on the fire and on the gas stove. So this is one that we use a lot. We kind of bring this when we're car camping, because this one is not as light as the other one. It's definitely heavier. I mean, this is pretty much kitchen grade stuff that you're going to bring along. But it's a nice stainless steel set. It has a lid with different sizes, so it fits all of the different pots that are in here. But just like the other one, it does fold up in here. It just kind of is a lot bigger, but it doesn't have the plates and spoons. But if you just want something, if you're going to go camping and you cook a lot, this is one that's really helpful. But it does fold up pretty well. It all goes in there. The lid goes on there, and then you're right back where you started. It has handles on the side, so this is a nice set. It's definitely bigger and heavier than the GSI one. So if you want a set that has the plates and bowls and cups, the GSI one is better. But this is a nice addition to that, just to give you more cooking options if you like the stainless steel variety. So now let's check out the portable utensil set that we bring with us on our camping trips. Number 6 on my list is the GSI Destination Utility Set, and this is something that is really helpful. What we've started to do is buy things that keep everything sorted for us, because it gets a little bit hard after a while to just lose things. But this was a cook set that we purchased 3 or 4 years ago. I made a video last year about my most used items, and this was in that video because we use this every single trip. We make sure that we bring this. And so we have added some GSI stainless steel knife set to it. So those don't come with it, but it comes with this plastic spoon, knife, and fork set. As you can see, we've lost a few. We use this so much that sometimes stuff gets lost. But it comes with a cutting board. One side is chicken and one side is vegetables. That's really nice to have. I have a wife that pays attention to food safety, so that's something that she really likes. That was just kind of built in as something that we didn't really know was on there until we bought it. Just something to think about. It comes with a little spice jar. And one cool thing about this is you can hold 3 different types of spices in here. So we have pepper and salt, 2 on this one. And then it opens up and there's 2 more on the bottom. So then we have paprika and garlic, I believe. So just this little set right here holds 4 different spices. So that's really convenient and handy to have. Probably need to rinse that out and spend a little bit. But it comes with little pouches. We haven't honestly used these pouches, but you could put mayonnaise or ketchup or things in here that you just want to bring with you and you don't want to bring the whole pack. You could throw these in the cooler. They have little squeeze tops and they have a screwable lid on the top. Comes with a little blue scrubby, which I can't find right now because we've probably used it quite a bit. It does have a little drying towel too, which is nice. Just kind of folds up in there. And on the other side, we get to the utensils. It has a nice knife that we use, still very sharp, has a nice lid, but it stays right here and kind of by itself so it can stay safe. It has a spatula, folds up. It also has a scoop spatula, don't know where that one is either, and a cheese grater, which you would think is kind of random, but we've actually used this quite a bit and it works really well. It's really sharp. We make a lot of tacos when we go camping, and this cheese grater is very handy. So this is the part of it that I was probably thinking, oh, I wouldn't use that much, but we use the cheese grater a lot more than I thought we would. And the last part is a whisk, and we actually use the whisk too because we have eggs a lot in the morning and you can make pretty good scrambled eggs with it. It opens and closes, kind of fits in there. So it's got a lot of little neat things that you can just always have with you when you are camping. One of my favorite things, this did not come with it, is this long silicone spoon. This is also by GSI Outdoors. I can't find this on Amazon. I wish they sold it on Amazon. I got this from Cabela's, which I believe is now Bass Pro Shops in our area. But this is an awesome little spoon if you could find it. REI might have it too, or some other camping stores. This is probably one of my favorite spoons that I actually have because it's nice and long and it's silicone, but we just keep that in there. Now let's go look at a large Dutch oven. In this $100 price range, we're getting into the larger Lodge cast iron Dutch ovens, and we use this 9-quart Dutch oven, and we take this on a lot of our camping trips. And some of the things I really like about this Dutch oven is that it has a handle, but the lid also has these little rivets on the bottom so that when you're cooking something and the moisture and water go up onto the lid, it'll collect, instead of going down the side, it'll collect on these little rivets and drop it back down on the food that you're cooking. One thing that we really like to make is baked beans on our camping trip, because you can just make them, set them in the fire, and let them cook all day long. They kind of cook really slow, but having these little rivets on the top helps the moisture from the food that you were cooking drop back down on the beans so that they don't dry out. So this is one of our favorite things to cook with. We usually use this on our car camping trips because this is very heavy, so it's not something that we bring when we're kayak camping. For car camping trips and having a lot of people, it's a lot of fun. We've made things like nachos, peach cobbler, we've made baked beans like I've said, and because it's cast iron, it can go directly on the fire. So if you just have a camping grate, you can set it down. Some of them have feet on the bottom, and then you can put some charcoal briquettes under it and then just cook it that way. They do take a little bit of maintenance. They come pre-seasoned now, but we cook ours so hot sometimes that, as you can see, it's kind of tore up on the inside. So I probably need to re-season this for this upcoming summer. There's a little bit of rust in there, so you have to make sure that you wash it right away, because if you don't clean it, you get a little bit of rust, which is why we like all the stainless steel that we use, because it's not gonna rust. We can come home and throw it in the dishwasher. You're not supposed to throw these in the dishwasher, but some people do, and that'll start a whole conversation on how you maintain these things. And this is made in the United States and Tennessee, so hopefully it won't be affected by tariffs, so it doesn't go up too much. And number 8 is a camping oven. This thing is a lot of fun. We purchased this at the beginning of last summer, and I have beat the tar out of this. This is another stainless steel item. This is from Modern Innovations. I chose this one because at the time it was a little bit cheaper than the Coleman one, but sometimes at the same price, people have said. It does have a window, which I do like. And it has a little thermometer up here. It's not the most accurate thing, but we've made everything in this camp oven. Pies, breakfast items, we've made cupcakes, we've made brownies, we've made a whole lot of different types of food. And it's just a lot of fun to have. This is one of those things that when you have, you're just like, oh, what can I try making in it? So this summer I am buying random items to try to cook them in this oven. But as you can see, I've really beat it up. But it's got a little bit of rust maybe right there and this right here, but it's still in pretty good shape. It folds down pretty small, as you can see right here. So it fits into the car, pretty simple, not a big problem. On the inside right here, we have a grate. I haven't pushed it all tight right now, but when you put it all together, the grate will stay right up there when you're pushing. It has warped a little bit. Something to keep in mind, there is the Coleman version, but you can't see in it, but maybe that one won't warp as much. But I've been very pleased with it. This might last me 2 or 3 years. I don't think this is gonna be a buy it once and last forever. So maybe the Coleman one will be, but we bring this on all of our trips. It's in my video that I've made of my most used gear, and obviously this is used all the time. If you do a lot of car camping, so you have extra space and you wanna bring extra food or try different things, that's what we like to do with this. So it's like, oh, what can we try this week? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've made homemade bread in the hot tent with it. And so a lot of different things. So that's a camp oven, pretty fun to have, and let's check out my next item. And number 9 on my list is another one of these items that I picked up that's become a lot more handy than I thought it would be when I first got it. This is a Dry-Mate tent carpet mat, and we picked this up for our hot tent. This one is about 7.5 by 4.5 feet, and this was $83. And they have a smaller version that's about $40, so if you don't need one this big. But one of the benefits of this is that you can cut it to be the exact size of your tent. We mostly use this in our hot tent because it stops moisture from coming up from the bottom, but you can put it in your tent, and when you cut it to size, it'll protect the bottom from getting rips and holes. It's also really nice if you're gonna use cots in your tent, because when you put the cot down, this will really protect it from ripping when you put it inside the tent. And like I said, you could put it underneath the tent and have it outside, because it's really easy to wash. You just spray it down with the hose, so it's not a big deal if it gets dirty. But the waterproof bottom will keep water from getting in through the bottom of the tent. And it is made in the United States of America. Not exactly sure where, but hopefully that means it'll be tariff-free if any of that stuff takes over. We purchased this 2 years ago, so this has gone through 2 winters in the hot tent, and it's still in great shape. There's a few little spots where coals have landed on it and melted a little bit. Bottom is this waterproof rubber, and the top is this really dense polyester. Like I said, it feels like the back of a trunk, so it's pretty comfortable, even if you're just gonna sit on it and use it for something like a picnic blanket for a day. The things I like about this is after a few years, it's still very durable. It's trimmable to any size you need, and it stops moisture from coming up into your tent, and it makes your tent just a little bit more cozy on the inside. Now let's go to my last thing, which is a sleep mat. And last but not least is my Thermarest Pro Light. I'm about 6'3", and I think this is the large version, so it's definitely tall enough for me to lay on when I sleep. But one thing we really like about these is they have an R value of about 3.2, which means it is pretty good for a 3-season sleeping mat. We use this when we go hot tent camping, but we have this on a cot, and so that does add a little bit of cushion. And one way that it adds a little bit of cushion is that it has foam on the inside. So it's self-inflating they say. I still have to blow it up every time. So it has a nice little nozzle right here, and you can let the air in and out. You twist it a little bit, you blow in some air, and you twist it to close it. Works pretty well, pretty simple, pretty basic. This one we've had for 8 or 9 years now, and so this is still in great quality. This is about $83 right now when I'm filming this. My wife also has the women's version, which supposedly has a little bit more of the foam around the hip area. But one thing the foam does do is add some softness when you're sleeping. And as you can see, it's maybe about 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch of thickness in here. And you can tell the difference when you're using it. So it is pretty comfortable. It's not the thickest mat, but if you're just using this in your tent on some rocky ground, like when we're at a state park, it has that little gravel that you always have to put your tent on, which is not the most comfortable, though this helps with that. It does have little grips on it, which are kind of nice. Still slide around a little bit, but not too bad. But it folds up into these nice little bags, and then we take it with us on our trips. So if you're just looking for a pretty basic mat that's gonna do the job, one more thing as I'm putting this away, the bag is pretty tight around the mat, but if you twist the air out when you're twisting it and you get it pretty small, you can slide it in the bag. It's not too big of a deal, but it takes a little bit of work to get it all in there. So those are my 10 items that I have between about $20 and $100 that we take with us on all of our trips. So thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.